Good day and welcome to another week of a week at the plot. We've got sheep, but obviously this isn't our plot. We're in Wales at the moment and we're by a babbling river over there, as you can see. Richard's there. There's Richard. Look, hello. Yeah. And we're just away for a couple of days, having a break. And
I don't think sheep liked us. They're all walking around.
Yeah, I think it's your new haircut, Richard, they don't like. I think that's the thing. Or maybe it's my new haircut, because I've had my haircut. But yeah, look, there's it's all sheep's bottoms at the moment. It's all sheep's bottoms and they're sort of long dangly tails. Look at them. Bless. But yeah, it's rather lovely. And don't know if you can see those little flowers there. Those are Himalayan Balsam. Well, there's some in front here, which are quite invasive as a species. But it's rather lovely, and we're just walking. Just walked over this bridge. We parked on the other side of the bridge, down by that car. This is where we are. Well, no, this is about fishing, isn't it? Yeah, salmon and sea trout stocks are under pressure. Released fish will spawn successfully 90 to 100% of the time. So they must be doing a release in this river. And actually, I think if you follow this river down only a couple of miles, it's where we're actually based with our friends, the Tittington Smythes. So yeah, if you follow that down, isn't that lovely? Follow that down, you get to where we are. And then of course it carries on down the estuary to Barmouth. Oh, and the sun's coming out. It's getting quite balmy. Richard's taking photographs. So we're going to continue down that path, which actually, I think it's a tarmacked path, I think, and cycle track all the way down to Barmouth. We've never walked all the way down. We've walked halfway down and we've walked halfway up it, but never all the way. But we're just out for a quick walk. So yeah, may see you further down. Look, I'm videoing him, videoing where we're going. He's obviously doing it for his vlogs or Sunday chat. And of course there's sort of, as you can see, there's grazing land. Well, did see grazing land on either side at the moment. See you shortly. I was just mentioning about how Himalayan Balsam is invasive. I think you can see from here what I mean. This whole area, which is sort of marshy but not wet like by the river, is completely overrun with it. And one of the ways, if I just come around here, you can see it here. Maybe if I come around here, can you see that these are broken off? One of the ways of dealing with it is to get people with sticks and come along and break the stems before they go to seed. So at this stage, that's obviously happened earlier in the season. It is a way of trying to maintain it. It is a lovely flower though, look at it. Can you see that? It's a gorgeous flower. But of course, being an invasive species, it's not particularly hybridized for our own bees and pollinators. But yeah, another invasive species, but one that we all rather love, ivy. But yeah, anyway, I mean, it's pretty, but it is invasive. So this is the end of our walk today. This is the trail we've been on. Not a long walk today. And this is the bridge that is a toll bridge that crosses the estuary. You can see just at the end here, that's a little toll hut, so you have to pay to get over that. I assume that middle bit does open up, but this is the sort of extent of the river, I believe, that boats used to come up to. So used to build boats. This used to be a sort of shipyard, and they would build boats, this is centuries ago, along here, and then take them down the estuary, which bends around the right of those pines in the middle, and then carries down to Barmouth. Don't know if you can see over there on the banks, just under the start of the bridge, just under where that car's coming across now, there's a black cow, I think, just resting on the sandbank there. Anyway, yeah, there's the cars coming across. Maybe you can, it's a wooden bridge, maybe you can hear it, I'm not sure, maybe not, with the car moving off behind me or at the side of me. But yeah, it's a toll bridge, wooden, very sweet. Even if you walk across it, I think it's 50p a person. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it here for this segment of A Week at the Plot. See you soon. Bye. Good day. Back at the plot. We're back from Wales an hour ago, and I thought I'd come down and have a look at things, because there was a lot of rain whilst we were away, and I mean a lot of rain whilst we were away. This pond, which was half full, is completely full, and you may remember this was completely dry last week under the lavender. Where I cut the lavender back, it was completely dry. Skanky Frog has moved from here to here, but if he wanted to go back here, he's got plenty of clean water there now. And I was going on about how the beds were pretty dry, sort of from an inch down. That is certainly not the case now. These are not sodden in any way, but they are absolutely moist and wet all the way through, which is fabulous. I'll have a look under here another day, the brassicas, because I do want to put the big hoops on there, as I say. But I can see in there one of our Brussels sprouts, the only remaining one, is beginning to come back. And then over here, a lot of calendula coming up here, and this is the bed where I need to take out verbascum and lemon balm and pot those on for next year. I did weed this bed before we went away, and I'm glad I did, because A, it's looking better, and B, hopefully you can clearly see the beetroots are swelling. This one here on the right is about golf ball size, so this is sort of double golf ball size, and many of them you can see are, so that's great. Super large one in there, that's most probably about 4 inches across. Yeah, so plenty to harvest for the weekend, which is lovely. One plot neighbour was looking after the greenhouse, making sure things were watered in there. Another was looking after the poly, making sure everything was watered in there. And somebody else came and emptied my trays. I know they emptied them on Wednesday, but I've just emptied all my trays again now because they were full. Simply because of the amount of rain that we've had. But of course, certain things have loved that, including slugs and snails. But these are all the, what do you call them? Oh, I can't remember. Not, well, there's Love in the Mist there. Oh, I can't remember. Forget-me-nots. This is all forget-me-nots, and they have really grown in the last few days because they have had so much water. This is full, and the broad bean, that if you were on coffee you may have seen it, is coming back. That has come back with a vengeance. Yeah, oh, you can see bright sunshine there, but it's about 5:30 now, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of harvesting. Oh, the buddleia is also, which was having, this is the lighter buddleia, which I was leaving to have a second flush. You can see up there many of those have already gone over, but down here there's new growth having a second flush, which is lovely. So yeah, I mean, look at that one, look at that, just glorious, really is. So I'm going to be having a little harvest of lettuce. Some of these have gone to seed whilst I've been away, even though they've been watered, but the endive are looking really good, so I'm pleased about that. So yes, as you saw with the first segment of A Week at the Plot, we were in Wales for a few days this week, and I was following what was happening here on our WhatsApp group earlier in the week, because there was such a deluge of rain over a matter of days that 3/4 of this site flooded. That hasn't happened in decades and decades here. We have had flood water, and you've seen that before, and generally the lower areas of the plot, which are a couple of meters lower than here, they get maybe a few inches up to about 4 inches of water, and I've shown that before. But what happened is the River Brent swelled so much that it overflowed its banks right behind me at the edge of the site. I'm right at the top, and it overflowed right behind me, maybe about 120 meters behind me, and from 120 meters down it just cut across the site, even down to the lower half of the plot, one step down from me. The paddock was fine. Plot 1 to 8 up here were fine, but then further on they were flooded, and then, as I say, one step down got flooded at the end of their full plots. It's a bit difficult to imagine, but in all, that's sort of 1/3 to 3/4 of the plot being flooded. It went down relatively quickly, and I'll show you some photos here now, but basically right down where the bees are and right at the lower end, plots were flooded down there. Then coming up to the orchard, it was flooded. Coming further up to the middle of the plot, it was or middle of the site rather, it was also flooded. There was standing water on the plot which neighbours the plot I used to be on, you know, the one that's about 50 meters down. That neighbouring plot was flooded. I haven't seen photos of the plot that I used to have, but I believe that had water around the edges of it, and then water ingress to, as I say, the edge of plots one step down from me. So yeah, there was so much water. So it flowed down the River Brent and then down into the Grand Union Canal. Apparently 2 boats, canal boats, had water ingress, and they were berthed in the canal with so much water. So, you know, it was really an issue. Sorry, when I say berthed, I mean they sank. That's what I mean. They were berthed along the banks, and must have been tied so tightly that when the water rose, the boats couldn't rise enough to stay above the water, so they had water ingress and they were sunken but not completely sunk. But yeah, you know, what a thing. And then the road along that I walk along, apparently that was flooded as well. So it all moved relatively swiftly away, thankfully. But of course, you know, that we have in the UK, we have an awful lot of water companies pumping sewage into rivers when there's high water, where there's high rainfall and high water levels. So yeah, you know, that's absolutely horrendous. So anyway, I mean, the good thing is that here was okay. I feel sorry for people who were further down, but you know, we are on a river. It does flood. I mean, you know, it's. I think it's going to be happening more regularly with the amount of rainfall that we're now getting in short periods of time. You know, the same amount of rainfall, if it fell over a couple of weeks, would not raise the level of the river hardly at all. But over such a short spell, like 12 hours, where so much water came down, it was a swollen river and just broke its banks. So there we are. But anyway, you know, the upside is that there's been an awful lot of rain, so nothing has needed watering outside. And I don't really think it will from now on. It looks as though we're going to have sort of some consistent rainfall, if not heavy rainfall, over the coming weeks. And then, of course, we're well into autumn, and we should get regular rain, which will keep things going, or anything that we do have will be kept growing. Anyway, there we are. I'm waffling, aren't I? I'm waffling. But yeah, boy, looking at those photos, with some of the photos, I had to sort of really have a good look at the sheds and the plants that were growing and think, is that plot? Is it that plot? Is it that path? Or is it that path? And yeah, there was one actually I was really confused about, and I found it now, and it's not too far from me, and it made me realise quite how close the water was. But you know, I'm in the summer, the people at the bottom of the site are thankful because their ground always stays moist, where ours drains because we're at the top of the site, so ours drains really well. But in the winter, you know, I'm glad. So we have to water maybe a bit more in the summer generally than plots further down. Though, you know, I'm pleased that we weren't flooded, and I feel, you know, I do feel for those who were. But there was an awful lot of joviality around it as well, and also a bit of seriousness about Thames water. So there we are. I will stop waffling. I will see you very soon. Don't know what we're going to be doing over the weekend, but I need to crack on and do something, that's for sure. See you very soon. Bye. Good day. I started to do a job putting these dried seeds into packets. And then as I came to do that, I went and got my seed box, which has got all the seeds in it. And look, can you see that? Found lots of seeds, which you can't see when I do that, in the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these seeds. These are the orange pepper seeds from the Isle of Wight tomato company, and those I think are a yellow tomato from the Isle of Wight tomato company. I'm going to put them into the seed packets, and then this extraneous seed here I'm also going to put into a seed packet. Then I'm going to go through this whole host of seeds, because I'm sure one of these packets of seeds, I think a pepper packet of seeds, has burst at the bottom, meaning that all of these have come out. They're all dry because I've got plenty of silica sachets, you can see there, in our plastic tub. But yeah, so not a job I expected to do today. Well, not sorting out these pepper seeds. I was going to sort out these set of seeds, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get on and do that. Well, I found out what these seeds are. They're actually a mixture of these three. On the left, orange bell peppers and paprika peppers from Vivi. On the right, long yellow peppers that I saved seeds from that were from a pepper I bought at Morrison's. And stupidly, when I last did these, look what I did. I cut them at the bottom of the packet and I didn't seal the packet up. Ridiculous. And I did it for all three of these sets of seeds. So basically what I've got at the bottom of the box here is a selection of these three lots of pepper seeds. I am just mad. I mean mad as in how stupid of me. Sometimes I do this, I cut the side off, but then I usually come home and use tape straight away, or I use tape down the plot to tape it up. You can see that this one has got some tape on it, you know, here. But in this case, I didn't do it. So there we are. Mystery solved. And as per usual, it's all my own fault. So those seeds are in a packet and I've marked them up clearly as that they're one of three varieties. Seed box all sorted. The flowers are at the back. You can see the sort of cosmos cups, I think it says. From there backwards is flowers. At the front is all vegetables, well, apart from tomatoes and peppers, which are fruits, obviously. And all in alphabetical order. So when I'm actually in the depths of winter and thinking, oh, do I have that seed? Do I have that seed? I won't have to sort out my seed box because it's already sorted. Yeah, that's certainly a job I didn't expect to be doing today. It's been a funny old day today so far. Various things have happened unexpectedly, and of course the pepper incident. And I came down because I had to come down. We're changing. Well, the lock is being changed on the main gate here, so I came down to swap my keys. Really nice coming down to swap my keys rather than everybody coming to me to swap their keys. So had a little bit of a chat, and then we're talking to a couple of people about the water ingress and the flooding and how that could be minimized in future. And you know, it's a really difficult one because we're on the river, you know, it floods. This is a floodplain and our allotments are on that floodplain. Of course, you know, in the olden days, these are now over 100 years old, you didn't get so much crap, dare I say, flowing down rivers and things onto allotments. You just got the, you know, alluvial stuff coming up and on. So there's a bit of concern about how we can minimize flood risk in future. Of course, minimizing flood risk anywhere is a really expensive thing, and I don't think the charity or we have enough money to actually do it properly. Planting willow and reeds will actually slow the flow of water and do some filtering, which, you know, might be an idea. It's something that was mooted. I mooted actually about 8 years ago. But yeah, anyway, you know what? What's today? It's the 29th. Tomorrow's the 30th, and that's my last day on the committee. So 1st of October, yay, next week I won't, well, by the end of next week I won't basically be a committee member, though I am still going to be treasurer. I will continue to do that. I also wanted to bring down my garlic, which arrived, where's my thing, which arrived yesterday. So I'll just open that up. did I get this from Tamar Organics? I think I got Precosum from them last year, and I think I've got it from them again this year. Let me open the box. The box is now open, and I love it when I see that shredded paper. Isn't that fantastic? I wish more companies use cardboard and shredded paper, and I've noticed that the tape is biodegradable tape as well, which is good. So yeah, these are organic and Precosum. So really, yeah, nice decent bulbs. Yeah, there's 3, so I've got 6 bulbs in total, and that will be plenty to do the bed in front of me, which is I think where the garlic is going to go this next growing year, which for me starts on Tuesday. And I know I've said it before, it's an anathema to some people that is the case for me, but it's what Dad did, and therefore it's what I do. So right, I'm going to leave it there for this week's A Week at the Plot. Whatever is happening in your garden, your growing space, or your allotment, I hope that you are getting pleasure from it, and I hope you don't have flooding like we have had down here. Anyway, any comments, any questions, please do leave them down below. And if you're on Planet Vegetaria, I'll see you through the week for the segments as they happen. And if you watch on YouTube, there'll be another upload in a week's time. See you then. Bye, and happy growing.